Hi guys and welcome to another lesson on our Ghana Dev Heroes training program. Now this lesson is going to be our fifth lesson and it follows our lesson on C# fundamentals part 2. Now this lesson will be taking a look at the Windows 8.1 development roadmap. Now I'll take you through some of the things on the roadmap so that we know what we will be expecting as time goes on. Now, this roadmap was specifically constructed to get you from beginner to expert by following the steps that they have there. These steps are very good for people who are just starting their developer life, as I put it. Now, first of all, we have this side of the roadmap. Then from there, we veer off to either those the first time on Windows 8 development or the people who have experience on Windows 8 development. So for first time users, there are things, first time developers, there are things here that would help them. Then as you grow on, you can just move on to the steps available here. Now let's take a deeper look. Now the tools you will need will be a Windows 8 client, a Windows 8 operating system, which can be upgraded to a Windows 8 upgraded to 8.1 for free. Then you would require Visual Studio 2013. I've already provided you with Visual Studio 2013, so that shouldn't be a problem. Now, when you install Visual Studio, you should explore the blank templates, the grid templates, the hub templates, and all the other templates available to you when you choose the Windows Store option under either Visual C#, VB, Visual Basic, or C++. Now, when you install Visual Studio 2013, it comes pre-packaged with Blend, and Blend is a design tool that helps you customize your user interface. Now, understanding the structure of Windows 8 application, either using XAML for the user interface and using either C#, C++, or VB for the model. You can also use HTML and CSS for the user interface and use JavaScript for the model. Now, there are also design concepts we look at when we're designing Windows 8.1 and 8 applications. And there are some samples of best practice applications that you should take a look at when you're trying to design your applications. Now, from the DreamSpark accounts I provided to you, you should have gotten by now a store account which will grant you the opportunity to push your apps on the store and also start your Windows 8.1 development. Now, when you do that, you can reserve an application name so that another person doesn't steal the name you've been working on for so long. Now, for those who Windows 8 development is new to them, this is the steps they should take. First, you work on the Handson Labs. The Handson Labs is a step-by-step introduction to Windows 8.1 development where they take you through building an app that they already had. They take you through how to load the data, how to customize the user experience step by step, and adding all the features that are required for the application, like the search charms, adding live tiles, etc. After doing that, you'll be able to build a Contoso cookbook application. Then from there, you can just build on what you've learned and build an app similar to the cookbook. That would be like your homework for that day. Just follow the same steps and customize it to fit an idea that you have. Now, secondly, after that, you look at the 200 samples. Now, these are samples that have every single Windows 8.1 feature code example available. Sorry, the spelling of available there is wrong. So for the code samples, for every feature that you want in your application, there is an example of how to implement that. We'll take a look at the code samples very soon. Let me continue saying these things. Yeah. Now, you also look at our design inspirations. Now, you can check the design inspirations and use cases on the Windows 8 platform. The things other people are doing, how you can implement those things in your applications, etc. There are also best practice applications on Windows 8.1 platform that I would also have you take a look at. Now, for those who already have experience on Windows 8.1 development, these are the steps that you would follow in developing more, getting more experience and providing more capabilities with the applications that you build. Now let's move on to our other slides. Now, I forgot to do my introduction from the beginning because I was on a roll there. But anyways, you all know me. My name is Akwoko Asante and I work as a technology evangelist at Microsoft here in Ghana. So that's my Twitter address and my email down there. So now we're going to take a deep dive into the learning roadmap. So as I spoke about initially, the 200 Windows 8 samples is a sample pack that includes all app code examples developed for Windows 8 and Windows 8.1. The sample pack provides a convenient way to download all the samples at once. The samples in this sample pack are available in C#, C++, VB.NET, and JavaScript. So now you don't need to know just C#. You can either be a JavaScript developer, a C# developer, a C++ developer, or a VB.NET developer. So these code samples come in handy because it's not everything that you would know how to do. So the samples implement the feature that you would require. So they have different titles and you just go through, look for what you're looking for. Then look how it's being implemented. Look at the code and implement it in your application. So you have the option to either download the C++ version, the C# version, etc. So the link is down here. I'll provide these slides after the lesson in my blog and under the video. Now if I click, it will direct me to MSDN where we have the code samples, and you can see this has been updated to Windows 8.1 samples. So now you can download the version that suits your programming language that you're comfortable with and get started with your development. Now there's a little documentation underneath there that you should read. I already took the liberty of downloading this sample pack, and I'll just take a few minutes to show you how it works. Now let me just quickly go to my desktop. I already have the samples here. Let me open it, and here you can see that we have a lot here. Now we have accelerometer, sensor sample, alarm, toast notification samples, application resources. Let's take a look at let me see. I want something that can change my lock screen. Yes. So Windows 8.1 provides applications the ability to personalize a lock screen. You can have an application that says that you can say to that, hey, I want you to personalize my lock screen with the data that you're providing or with an image that you're providing. So now I'll double click this. I don't know how to do this, so I'll double click this folder. There's a description that will give you an idea of what the sample is doing. Let's just take a look at it in Visual Studio. Let me quickly drop this. Now, our application is opened here. Let me just run it so you take a look at it. Now, this is the sample page. Now, in the description, it says that this scenario shows how a developer can use the lock screen API to set the current user's lock screen image. Note that this is only functional if your copy of Windows has been activated. Select an image file using the item picker and this will be set as the lock screen image. The selected image file and file name will be shown below if successful. So now, in our first scenario, notice that we have two scenarios here. Pick and set lock screen image. So let's just pick an image. Let's take this God of War image. God of War. Now, once it's successful, the image will be shown to you here. So now my God of War image is here, and if I go to my lock screen, you realize that this has been set by the Windows SDK sample application. Now, so it's unfortunate I can't show you my lock screen, but this image is now set whenever I'm logging into my computer. Now, let's go back to Visual Studio and take a look here. Now, when you're in Visual Studio, to be able to look at the code and how they did what they did, you can just go to set lock screen, the example here, look at the page and look at the CS file attached to it. Now you can see the code and how they did what they did, how they set the lock screen image and commented code that explains exactly how they did it. So now you can easily take these, you can easily copy this file here, just edit it the way you seem fit, and it will work perfectly in your application. Let's take another look at another sample. Let's see, toast notifications. Now, toast notifications appear at the top right hand part of your desktop, informing you about a status change in an application. Let's quickly take a look at it. Now, this is a code sample that shows you how they are going to work in your application, the different formats that they take and how they appear. Let me just run it to my local machine. Now, here on our toast notifications, we have the scenarios here. So let's just take a look at the first scenario, creating a text only toast. So when I click text toast 1, it will take a little time, but it will show us a toast notifications. So in the meantime, we can take a look at what they are. Now, toast notifications interrupt your users with important actionable events. Toast notifications can be sent by your app when it is running scheduled for a later time, or sent by your cloud's app service through the Windows push notification service. The cloud service can be Windows Azure. Toast notifications are described by an XML schema that binds tile contents to system-defined templates. Toast should be actionable but ignorable. If a user misses a toast notification, an app should consider updating the tile or tile badge with information about the missed toast notification. Now, let me see. Okay, so toast 1 is a body of text that wraps over 3 lines. So these are examples of toast notifications. So it's either actionable, I can click it, or I can cancel it. Now I can click the different ones for them to display. And there are different scenarios that you can take into consideration when building your application. And all of these have the descriptions and how you would want to implement it. Now, when you come to Visual Studio, all of the scenarios have their XAML, their XAML pages and the XAML.cs files, which describe either the input and the output. So if you want to incorporate this into your application, you can just take a look at how it is being done and try and copy or imitate it in your application. Let's take a look at one last one, then we move on with our slides. Now let's see. Settings. Okay, hold on. Oosh. I wanted to take a look at the XAML flyout and menu flyout sample. Let me run this quickly. Now let's run this on our local machine. Now, it says that this scenario demonstrates basic usage of the flyout and menu flyout controls through the flyout property button. Now, the flyouts serve as lightweight secondary user interfaces that represent information or require the user for confirmation of an action. Many flyouts present the user with a list of options. Both controls respond to light dismiss. As it's tapping outside, the control will dismiss it. So if I click buy here, you can see that this menu flew out. It came out and we didn't need to navigate to another page for that. So I'll just confirm my purchase and our output says you bought an item. So if I click options here, I can either choose item 1, item 2, or enable feature X. Now, note that the flyout only presents an option for action confirmation and does not have a close option. Users can close the flyout and cancel the action through the light dismiss. That's clicking any other or tapping any other part of the screen. There are other scenarios that you can look at and implement in your application. So these samples will help you, and I recommend the use of them during your app development. Now, let's move on. So there are, as shown initially, there are a set of hands-on labs, that is learn step by step as it's being done. So we have hands-on labs for Windows Store applications for absolute beginners with C# and Windows Store application for absolute beginners with JavaScript. So these labs will take you through a step-by-step introduction to the features of Windows 8 by building an app together. So the steps will tell you move here, do this, do that, move this file here. And as you do so, you become familiarized with the whole environment and how to build a similar app. So by the end of these labs, you would have had to build the Contoso cookbook app, and on your own time with all the features that they demonstrated, and you can on your own time build a similar application employing all of these features. That could be your very first Windows app. Now the link for the Handson Labs is provided down here, so if you click on it, it will quickly navigate to your web browser and show you how you can find the files with the system requirements and the instructions that you need. Now, there are a set of applications that implement the Windows 8 user experience in a very nice way. An example is the Cocktail Flow application. Now, I think I downloaded the application to show you guys. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, there it is. And this is Cocktail Flow. Now, it has the cocktails. The animation is very nice. It's simple and the user interface is clean. So if I click after 5, it gives me after 5 the ingredients, the preparation, etc. So when I go to my cabinet, I have my bar stock, my cocktails, then my favorite cocktails, even though I haven't added anything here. So Cocktail Flow is a very good example of a Windows 8 application that makes good use of animations and has a very simple and clean user interface. Another application is USA Today. I already downloaded the application, so let me just USA Today. Okay. Now I already had it open, and here you can see LeBron James is still MVP. Yes. Let's go back. Now this is the main page of the USA Today. So now I just click on the news and it takes me there. Click on Obama here and I have the news information available. I just scroll to see more. So as it's said in the slide, it is simple and it does exactly what it needs to do. It also provides my location here. The first time I opened the application, I had to provide my location. So it shows the temperature too. Nice addition there. Let's go back. So you can also take a look at these applications available in the Windows Store. You just need to go to the store and type in their names and they'll be available to you. Now we have design case studies. If you want to either move your website to a Windows Store app, move an iOS application to a Windows Store app, or have a version of your line of business application as a Windows Store application. So these are all links that navigate to the various pages, and the information available on those pages would help you do this. So if you're a web developer or an iOS developer or a developer or a business developer who has a line of business application that you would like to have a Windows Store version of, you can look through these design guidelines to help you through. So you can easily migrate your website, your iPad, or build a line of business application. Let's move on. Now, these are some of our design inspiration. These are applications that we show to people and say these make very good use of our design guidelines. Let's take a look at this shopping app. I think I like this shopping app because it's cool. Now, the sample code available for a shopping app. So these show you scenarios of a shopping application, then shows you a shopping application. If you want to build an application that displays content on either your website, etc., and it involves clothing, you shouldn't shy away from the design. Make it look good as possible, because as clothing makes people look good, your app should complement the clothing so that people would be attracted to buy from using your application. So as you can see, these are design guidelines that would help you build a very good application. So here we have travel applications. All of these navigate you to the site that would show you how to go about this, how to realize your dream application. Now we also have our design guidance, your app focus, the user scenarios, the app features, making money with your application, the user interface design, etc. And these are also available online, where first you decide what your app is great at. You decide what other user activities to support, decide what features to include. These advise you on the kind of things that you would want to have in your application in order to engage users, how to monetize the app, how to design the user experience for your app, making a good impression, making a prototype, and validating your design. Now, in the left portion here, we have all the other things I've shown you: the UX guidelines, the category ideas, line of business application, your enterprise administration application, your financial applications, etc. And these have examples that you can take a look at when you're designing yours. We also have a design handbook that show you how to go about understanding lifestyles, choosing a lifestyle that would complement your application, that would make good use of the content you're providing. Designing a splash page, that is the screen people see when your app is loading all of its features. Designing the hub page, key Windows 8 terminologies, etc. And this design handbook is available at the site provided down here. So when I provide the resources to this lesson, you can simply go to the site and take a good look at it. Now, we also have the third party control suite that can help you add some more functionality to your application. For open source, we have Callisto, we have the WinRT XAML toolkit, we have the Oxyplot charting controls, etc. Then there are components that you can buy if you need them, like Sync Fusion, Telerik, Infragistics, etc. Now, this is an info kit. This is our last slide, and it's an info kit on all the tools that you would need and the tools that I have talked about, so that you can easily access them. These have been compiled for use for students, developers, etc. So you can just have everything you need in one place. So in this lesson, we've talked about the roadmap and discussed into detail some of the features of the roadmap that we are going to be taking a look at. We took a look at the 200 app samples. We took a look at the Handson labs. Then we went on to talk about the design guidelines, sample applications for every category, how to move your website to a Windows Store app, how to move your iOS application to a Windows Store app. Then we talked about third party control suites that you can use in your application. Now, I hope this has gotten you more fired up and ready to dive into Windows 8 application development. Thank you for your time today and hope to see you soon. Goodbye.